No, that's my work shirt for tomorrow. Right down on your list. So, great.
I'm going to give everybody a chance to get onto this link. This is going to be the right one. Okay, 2 people are watching now. Somebody copy this link and send it over to the other one. I'm gonna have to delete that one. I don't know what happened. Hello, Jessica. Hello, Jennifer. Hey, Jessica. I know. I am a newbie to going live on YouTube, and I didn't know, like, once I scheduled it, how could I open it back up and access it? And that's where I got lost. So finally, I was just like, screw it. I need to create a whole new link. And hey, Sheena. Um, and so I will eventually clean up the playlist so that everybody can find this video. This is truly week one. So send everybody over. Somebody do me a favor, copy this link, paste it in the other video where everybody is sitting out. I know there's like 30 people in the other group. That was so great. So great. This is where we need to be. I will clean it up and make it more organized. And I will, when I send out next week's email, I will fix the links for the playbacks. But hello, Selena. I hope we're all getting on now. Thank you, Jessica, for sharing it to the other one. And I'll give everybody a second just to kind of bounce around and get into the right group. Here I am. I'm live now. This is the right one. So excited that you have decided to be here. We've got 7, 8 on now. Okay, everybody's coming on over. Whoo, this is a learning curve. I thought I had figured, well, I did figure out how to stream Zoom into YouTube, but I didn't know how, like, once I schedule to go live on YouTube, how to open that bad boy up and access it. That's where I got stuck. Hey, Marie. Yes, here we go. We are in the right spot now. So a little bit of housekeeping. This is week 1, and I just want to say congratulations to you for deciding to take the step into building your business and going deeper into leadership. I want to say congratulations. You took a big step, because building your business and getting into leadership, it takes courage and it takes a new mindset. And that's really what we're going to talk about today in week 1. Hey, Camille. Hey, Heather. I see you coming in. We're getting everybody on now. But maybe you're here because you have been trying this for a long time and you've hit some roadblocks, or maybe you're brand new at this but you want to go all the way to the top. So whatever your reasons are, you are in the right spot. And so this is welcome to week 1. And if we haven't met, let me introduce myself. My name is Bree Stillings, sales director with Mary Kay. I have been in Mary Kay for 7 years now. I've been a director for over 3 years. Hi, Nancy. Everybody's getting here. Yay, yay. And so I'm just excited that we have stepped into this leadership together. There is a place at the table for you. So the reason why I wanted to use Zoom I'm zooming into YouTube, which was kind of confusing because I want to be able to share my screen. And the first thing, we're going to do a little bit of housekeeping on how to print your workbook. There was some confusion on how to get it. So I'm just going to share my screen real quickly to show you how to print the workbook. So bear with me. This should work. I do know how to do this. Okay, and there you see me again, but I want to open up Canva. Okay, so when you get the link to Canva, this is what you see. And a lot of people are like, how do I print this bad boy? This is a great book, lots of good notes, and the fill in the blanks, we want you to do that. and for week 1 as well. There we are. All right. If you're not familiar with Canva, I'm going to walk you through that real quickly. You see the share button up here? If you click on share, you get a whole lot of options. All you do is drop down to the download option, and it's going to ask you, how do you want to download it? If you are printing, I would suggest PDF. And it'll even say right there, it's best for documents, PDF, best for printing. So I would change the style. Heck, let's do that. And then you click download, and that little file is downloading into your files. And for me, I can go here and get all my downloads, or sometimes you go into the other little corner at the bottom of your computer. But when I click on this, then I open up the PDF version of your workbook, and you just hit the print button. Okay, so I hope that settles any confusion that you had on how to print that bad boy. Very easy. So I'm going to stop sharing and get back to my main face. Hi. And let's dive in. So get your workbooks ready. How many people did we all get over to the right video now? We have, that is still wrong. We have, how many people? I can't even see. Oh, we have 14 people on. Jamie Lawrence is here now. We are in business. Yes, this is the right group. Okay, everybody has found us. Get your workbooks ready. Let's dive in to week 1. And so with week 1, really what I want to talk about, is the why, your story. And let's go ahead and grab your workbook. I want you to fill in those first 2 blanks. Write it down. I want you to write reality equal my potential today. Write it down. Does my reality equal my potential today? Does my reality equal my potential today? And here's what I want you to think about that after you write that. Is what you're doing in your life right now, is what you're doing in your business right now. Are you bogged down with being overwhelmed by disappointments from people saying no? And do you feel like you're constantly saying, woe is me, about your business? Well, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, friends. You're here because you want to get into leadership. We've got to do the work, because most of us feel like where we are right now is not our true potential. Most of us who have signed up for this course feel like we have so much more to offer our business, more to offer our families, more to offer our friends. And that's why I want you to think about is, does the reality that you're living in right now equal your potential? Because it probably don't. And maybe this is a quote that you put on a sticky note somewhere, because most of us feel like we have so much more potential than our status right now. If your status is a senior consultant, maybe your status is already a team leader, but you feel like you have a director inside of you. Most of us feel like we are more than our status. And you see a version of yourself leading and empowering your family. This is why, before we even talk about how to team build, you got to figure out why you want to team build. Does your reality equal your potential today? Because that's what's going to encourage you to do the work. Okay. All right. Let's move into part 1. Part 1 is your mind. Fill in the blank, mind. Your mind. Right here, this part right here, this part has to be right. When you step into leading a bunch of women for a volunteer force, your mind has got to be, it's got to be right, and it's got to be tight, because you are going to be faced with disappointment. You have to be faced with discipline every day. Get your mind right. And the next blank, you said yes to the Mary Kay opportunity as a seed, S-E-E-D. You said yes as a seed. Now, I'm going to stop right there before I tell you the answer to the next blank. Because think back, Think back, why did you say yes originally to the Mary Kay opportunity? The reason why you probably said yes is not the same reason why you said yes to the Hunt for Red October. Most, like, if you're anything like me, I said yes because I just wanted a discount and maybe an extra couple $200 a month. But I say yes to busting it now, 7 years later, because I want a dream home. I want to retire early. Da, 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 da. You said yes as a seed, okay? A little bitty seed. And we kind of say that in Mary Kay, like, even as leaders, we say, you just never know what kind of seed you're planting. And it's true. Because if you think about it, I was a seed. And some of those seeds are just going to come up and be weeds. And some of those seeds are going to grow up into beautiful sunflowers. When you said yes originally to Mary Kay, you were just a little seed. All right, but fill this in. But the plant will only grow as big as the pot. You said yes as a little seed, but you can only grow as big as the pot. In other words, you will only grow as big as you allow yourself to visualize. That little bitty seed that you started, think about the greenhouse. They start those little plants in those little black trays. But when that tomato plant has a sprout, you have to pick it up and you have to transfer it to more ground so that it can spread its roots and grow into a nice, tall, fruit-bearing tomato plant. You have to move it. You have to see the bigger picture. The plan is only the plant. Oh, I'm missing a T right there. If you already printed yours, add a little T. The plant will only grow as big as the pot. So let's talk about the pot. I'm going to shut up for a second because I need you to visualize. I want you to look and I want you to think about yourself in 10 years from now, okay? Eyes closed, 10 years from now. How old will you be in 10 years? How old will your children be in 10 years? What house do you want to be living in at that age with children of that age? Where, in what city will you be living at that age? What does your bank account look like in 10 years when you are that age? Open your eyes and grab your pen. Did you visualize yourself 10 years from now? Next to your personal goals, I want you to write for 20 seconds nonstop. What does your personal life look like in 10 years in regards to your health, your fitness, and your family? Go. And stop. What does your professional life look like? Do not use any terminology from Mary Kay, but how are you earning your money and what other sources of income flow into your life in 10 years? Go. Stop. What does your bank account look like? And what are you financially free to do whenever you want in 10 years? Go. Stop. Did that make you sweat or did that make you smile? Let's move on to part 2. The reason we did part 1 is you've got to get your why straight. Just like when you have new team members come in, we try to figure out what their why is to making little extra money. You have to know your why for working harder. Camilla, could you please stop? Part 2, your time. Fill it in. T-I-M-E, time. All right, I'm going to give you 3 non-negotiables. Number 1, your weekly plan sheet. Fill it in, guys. You cannot grow without this. This is a non-negotiable, the weekly plan sheet. Don't even argue with me if you think you can grow in your business without it. Just don't. I have worked with too many great leaders to know that you have got to do a weekly plan sheet. And if you are fighting it, that is what's holding you back in your business. Love you. Number 2, your values. Your number 2 is values. And what I mean by values, and you can take some little notes off to the side of this, your values represent your principles. And your principles will reflect how you prioritize your time, okay? So your values are directly related to how you make your weekly plan sheet. What you spend your time on shows what you prioritize. And if you are spending your time on TV or volunteer things, like, okay, I'm a teacher, friends. And when I knew I was going into leadership, I had to say no to being advisor to 3 clubs. I didn't mind. I like working with kids, but being an advisor to the National Honor Society and the Beta Club just gave me a lot of extra things that I had to do on the weekends, and it did not get me closer to my goals. So I had to say no to that, and I don't regret it one bit. My life has been so much freer. So where are your values? Where are you saying yes? Okay, because I want you to put number 3. Number 3, I just want you to write Pam Shaw. Pam Shaw. If you need help with your time, just go look up any video on YouTube or follow Pam Shaw or read Pam Shaw's blogs. Do whatever you got to do. Just be in the presence of Pam Shaw. Because if you have problems with your time, she will grab you up by the big girl panties and she will get you straight. One of my favorite quotes from Pam Shaw, she says, time spent in one place is time spent away from another. Oh my gosh. Time spent at the Beta Club is time spent away from finding a new team member. A yes to one thing is a no to another. When I say yes to watching Netflix, I am saying no to making booking attempts. Be careful where you choose to spend your time. So number 3 is just be a student of Pam Shaw. And I want to wrap up part 2 by talking about Acts 20, 17 through 24. This is when Paul is making his journey through the desert and he's preaching and he feels like he's not getting anywhere, and he feels disappointed because he feels like he's just doing the same thing over and over again, and he's not really getting the traction that he feels like he should have. Does that sound familiar? Here we go. Fill in the blank. The time is now is the whole idea of this, okay? The time is now. If you want to enlarge the kingdom by enriching the lives of other women, you have to know a few, F-E-W, things. You have to know a few things. Just a few things, not all things. Few. You do not have to master many things. You must be mastered by a few things. You do not have to master many things. You must be mastered by a few things. They are discipline, passion, and the golden rule. Discipline, passion, and the golden rule. Discipline, passion, and the golden rule. It's not about what you know. It's about what motivates you. It's not about what you know. It's about what motivates you. Everybody got all their blanks filled in? Okay, because now let's read it out to ourselves. If you want to enlarge the kingdom by enriching the lives of other women, you have to know a few things. You don't have to master many things, but you have to be mastered by a few things: discipline, passion, and the golden rule. It's not about what you know. It's about what motivates you. And I say this to you with this whole thought. This is my takeaway with this verse and this study here. And these were actually the sermon notes from a couple weeks ago. My takeaway is release the desire to be ready. Fill that last blank in. Release the desire to be ready. You do not have to know it all to grow. You do not have to be ready. You do not have to get things all lined up. You do not have to feel like I had a consultant one time. Sorry, I'm going off the tangent. I had a consultant one time who never started her business because she was waiting to get postcards printed. Stop waiting on the right time and just do it. As long as you are disciplined and you are passionate about what motivates you and your why for your family, and you work this business with golden rule philosophy, you are ready now. Part 3. Your ears. Your ears. Okay, and this is also coming from another sermon that now we're in Matthew 14:22 through 23. This is one of my favorite stories of the Bible. This is when Peter now. So we talked about Paul. Now we're talking about Peter. Peter and the disciples are in the boat and it's storming and Jesus is not there. But then Peter looks out and he sees Jesus walking out and he says, "Come on, Peter." And so Peter says, "Really? You think I can do it?" He says, "Yeah, I think you can do it." And so Peter gets out of the boat and he starts walking on water. And he's walking on water, which is a miracle. But then he looks left and he looks right and he sees how big the waves are and how big the wind is blowing. And he starts to sink until he reaches up to Jesus and Jesus pulls him back up and says, "Why did you doubt? Why did you doubt?" Do you feel like you're on the boat and right in front of you is the biggest and best opportunity of your life? And you know it's possible. Everybody else has done it. They are telling you, do it. So you do it. You sign up for the Hunt for Red October. You recruit a couple team members. You recruit 2 or 3. And you're like, "Yes, I got this." And then what happened? You looked left and you looked right. When in reality, we tell you to put the blinders on and look straight ahead. Friends, Peter looked at the storm and the wind. What are you looking at? What's your storm and wind? Write it down. What's making you doubt that you can continue walking? But instead, go down to the next line. What do you need to fix your eyes on instead? What is that end result that you need to put the blinders on and just walk? What is it? Write it. I'm going to end with a couple of Mary Kay quotes. What you focus on, fill in the blank, what you focus on grows. What you are going to focus on grows. If you decide to look at the storm or the wind, that's what will grow. What you focus on will grow. Be mindful of your voices, the voices you are listening to, the stories you are telling yourself about why she said stop to Project Broadcast, why she unsubscribed, why she said no. What stories are you telling yourself? And lessons. Be mindful of the voices you hear and the stories you tell and the lessons you learn. Get consumed with knowing Jesus. Get consumed with knowing Jesus. Last blank of your page. Only take advice from people who you want to trade places with. Fill it in. Only take advice from people who you want to trade places with. If you have a friend who used to be a red jacket, but it's not a red jacket right now, don't ask her for advice. Only take advice from the people who you want to trade places with. You hear me? This week 1, the why, write your story. You got to get your head right before you decide this is the path I want to go on. This is the next step of my journey. We're in a perfect month right now. Oh my gosh, we have so much going on. $10 sign up fees, Christmas time. Oh my gosh. You could easily recruit 10 people this month if your headspace is true. If you are in the right spot and you're not too worried about trying to get ready. If you are focused on the reason why, you will run on that choo-choo track and you will not look left or right. You will not look at the storms and the winds, and you will power ahead. You will only take advice from the people who you are willing to trade places with. You will be very aware of what you are listening to and the stories you are telling yourself. And you will be a master of your time and a discipline of your attention. What's the point of being red? Let me give you some numbers. Do you know how you earn money as a red jacket? I'm going to cover just some numbers real quickly. You can write this anywhere on your workbook or a scrap piece of paper, but I just want to motivate you, okay? When you have 1 to 2 team members, you make 4% commission, okay? If you have 3, which is not a whole lot. I had that one time and I remember just getting a $12 check. I was like, okay. If you have 3 to 4 team members though, you make 4, 6, or 8%. And some people are confused at like, what's the difference? The difference is how much those orders are. So if you're recruiting people who are going to order one time just for personal use at $225, you're not going to be able to get the volume big enough to get 8%. Okay. Just to kind of give you some numbers, if you have 4 people just 4 people on your team just doing the minimum, you're looking at like, oh no, that's $9.99. I didn't do the math on that. What math did I do? Oh, here's my examples. Okay, so if you have 2 people on your team and they each only order $225, your commission check is $18. That's where I said like one time I got a $12 check. Okay. But if you recruit people who really want to sell and you have 2 people who together you get in like a $700 order, now your commission check is $56. It's still not bad, but hey, we'll take it. That might pay, that's dinner out. Okay, that's at 4%. But now let's bump it up to the 8%. So to get 8%, you have to be doing over 1,000 together. So if you got 4 people and they only do $225, then your commission check at 8% is still only $72. I mean, it's a little bit more, but we're not that great. But when those 4 people are actually selling and 2 of them do like $700 orders to get their prize, and the other 2 just do like $225 minimums. Now those same 4 people, because 2 of them are really working it, your commission check is $148. Now we're talking $150. Now I can pay a bill with that. Now it keeps growing. Okay. So if you, let's just say you have now 5 people. I got one more example for you. You get 5 people, you become a team leader, 5 people on your team who all do just the minimum, $225. Once again, you're only making $150. Here's the big difference though. If you're recruiting people who are trying to work the business and 2 of those 5 do 700, and then the other 3 just do 225, your commission jumps to $270. Now, the ultimate goal that you want to do is have 5 people do at least 225. Because when you do that, now you are in the magical 13% club. The 13% club is when 5 people order 225 or more, and you personally have to do 600. That's where you get that percentage boost. And that's why you're going to make $270 a month, almost $300 a month from having 5 team members, and they're all doing a little something every month. All right, I'm going to end it there, friends. You may post any questions in the comments, but your assignment for this week, your homework, is to fill out your notes, take a picture of your notes from page 1, send it to your director, and then your other piece of homework is to fill out your weekly plan sheet for next week. Remember, you're talking to a girl who is disciplined. It is a non-negotiable. So your homework is to fill out a weekly plan sheet and send a picture of your weekly plan sheet and your notes to your director. And you'll be back here next week with our new teacher, Jennifer Huff will be teaching next week on week 2. Y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for taking